Yeah. So any discussion that is being happening, and it is, if it is, going not in my favor, or maybe I have some, uh, uh, I would say I am not aligned with the discussion, the direction in which the discussions are going, then I get very anxious, and I lose my calm. And I get angry, and then I speak loudly with the folks who is on the other side to keep my point. So this has been a challenge for me, and I have been saying that, uh, personally as well as professionally, if the other person is not understanding what I'm saying, even after 2 3 times, then I get into the anger mode, and then I just lose my calm, which I shouldn't be. So yeah, if you can help me with this one.
Okay, so Lata, so what exactly is the issue?
See, I tell you, over the personal thing, I do not have anything on my mind, but yeah, professionally, if someone who is not doing performing well, or having behavioral issues, okay. So when we connect with that person, with the HR, for for feedbacks, and still, if that person is not agreeing that there have been issues, and that is why we are dragging him into the call and discussing it. So even after multiple explanations, if that person doesn't understand, then I usually lose my calm, and then I speak loudly. So I feel that it might go against me in future, or might be that the person will, the person who is like HR, right, who will think that I'm not handling properly, which is not the case, right?
Right.
So I want, in situations in which, even if things are going against, I want to stay calm. I do not, lose my calm, and mindfully handle that situation.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Understand. So, are these the people that we're talking about? They are your direct reportees or someone you are responsible for in some way?
Sorry, come again. Yeah.
These people that you're talking about, who you are giving feedback about whatever improvement, are they your
Correct.
direct reports?
Yes, they are direct reportees. Even in a personal front as well, be it my my mom or my siblings, if I get into some conflict, be it my husband. So I tend to lose my calm, and I start shouting, and I get into the angry mode very quickly. Earlier days, where when I was in my 20s, or late 20s as well, I did not face this thing. I used to remain calm. It did not affect me much. But now I feel I get into anger mode very, I get triggered very soon. If the things are, if the person is not able to understand, or having different view, whatever I'm saying, then I lose my calm, and then I start shouting, or get angry, or lose the, or leave the conversation in between.
Okay, okay. So now from here we can take two directions. One is, do you want to figure out where this is coming from? You want to know more about, get more awareness as why this is happening? Or the other direction is, do you want to know how to manage it?
I want to know how to manage this situation, how to stay calm and handle it, so that I'm heard. The discussion doesn't get into the heated mode.
Okay. So, and how much do you, so when you say I want to manage it, then I am assuming you are already aware that why this is happening.
No, I am not. Recently, I have observed when someone one of the reportee, he over the call just said, why are you shouting? So I was shocked that, because I did not notice it until he mentioned it. And so that is, I mean, after that I have seen that, yes, uh, if things are not going my way, or if the person is not understanding my point of view, even after giving evidences or discussing the details about it, so.
Okay. So that awareness is at a like a surface level, which is evident in your behavior. That's one type of awareness. What I am talking about is awareness that what triggers you, why you behave like that. Are you aware that where it is coming from?
No, no, I
Have you
am
done
not.
any kind of digging into this before?
No.
No. Okay. Because the thing is that if you just go straight on how to manage it without actually digging deep into it, those will not work.
Hmm.
That is why I said two directions, because in order to take the second one, the first one needed to complete first. So because I didn't know that your history or anything, that have you done that kind of digging deep into it, and you say, I know why this is happening, but I don't know how to stop it. Then we can talk about the management side of it. But if you don't even know where it is coming from, then going straight to solution is not going to work. So that solution is not the solution.
Hmm.
The first part of the solution is to diagnose it.
Hmm.
You will only see. It's like that. You have pain in your body, and you're aware of the pain in your body, and you just go to the doctor and like you say, I'm having pain. Tell me how to manage the pain.
Hmm.
But we need to know why that pain is happening. Otherwise, what medicine do we do?
Hmm. Correct.
Is this making sense?
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I thought about it. About the discussion, why it is happening, but I uh, understand why, or you know,
Okay, okay, okay. So, since when?
a karma. Yeah, sorry, I lost you.
This has been happening? How long back?
I think a month back, as I told you that, when the person, my reportee over the call, when I was giving the feedback, I started feeding it.
No, no, no. Sorry.
Then only, yeah.
Not that. Not that. The thing that if someone doesn't listen to you and you give all the evidence and then it makes you upset and all that. So how long has this been happening?
Uh, okay. Not sure. I didn't notice this one.
Okay, so you can think about it now. Like
Hmm.
how can you do? Has that been happening in your teenage years? When you were a child, adult? When did it start bothering you that people are not listening to
Hmm. Maybe I think a few years, if I can, uh, you know, yeah, maybe I think 3 to 4 years, maybe, or maybe more. Uh, when I think, yeah, I think 3 to 4 years. Earlier, I thought because I am at the authoritative position, that is why I'm doing it. But now I feel that is not the scenario. Even with everyone else, I'm doing the same thing. Be it my mom or anyone else. So it's not that, because I had the power, I'm shouting at the other person. Not like that. It's being triggered. Not sure why, because not sure.
you? Okay, okay. That's okay. That we will see if we can get to that one. So when Um, were you like this in your teenage years?
Mm, not. Uh, I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, people used to say that I do have anger issues. I did not realize it. But yeah, people used to say that I have anger issues and I get angry, but I never felt that way. I thought, I am quite joyful and take things positively. But yeah, my mom used to say
And
that
what?
I have anger issues. Hmm.
Okay, okay. Your mom used to say that.
Mm.
And what were the incidents like? They used to tell you to do something and you didn't agree with it, and then you would feel like rebelling against it.
Not the rebel part. Maybe she had noticed it, but yeah, maybe with my younger sister, I was bit rebel.
Hmm.
Yeah. But with my brother and all, I never I never disrespect or speak loudly with him because he's elder to me. So yeah,
Okay,
but the same scenario is not. I mean, I do shout at my mom at times, to my elder sisters sometimes, but very rarely. With elders, I don't do it. But yeah, where I think where there is a possibility that I will, the person will not be answering me back or will not have that power to give me back.
there you do that. What about
Mm.
your dad? You didn't do this with your dad?
No, no. He left us, I think, in when I was very young. I was in 10th, I think. So yeah, but I never did this with my father.
Okay, okay, okay. Um, and what made you do it with your mother? Why you felt like you can do it with your mother?
Earlier I couldn't when I think, but now I feel because. Um, I'm not sure how to say this, but yeah, earlier I didn't. I was quite afraid of her, but now I don't. Maybe because I am at the stronger position. I believe I can handle things alone or single-handedly. So that kind of power that I have is what is or the confidence that I have got it. That is why I am doing it.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
You said that even in your teenage years, you used to talk like that with your mother, and she used to feel that you have anger issues.
I used to if there is a fight, I used to run away from it. Today as well, I cannot stand any fight for long. I just run away with it. I will either close myself in a room or I will leave the house for some time. I do not like fights for if it is going more than half an hour or 15 to 20 minutes or so. So heated things I do not like it. But now I myself doing it, shouting at the people and trying to overpower them and all those things.
Okay, okay. And what does fight mean to you? Why you used to run away from them? Why you didn't like fights?
Uh, I don't like shouting and all. It's not like that, I understand because obviously if there are different views, fights will happen. If the person is not doing your way, there will be fights. So I just used to run away with it. I'll just suppose if my mom is telling me to do something, I don't want to do it, and then she'll start scolding me. Then I'll run away. I don't want to do it. So like that, I used to run away for leaving the discussions in between.
Okay. And your elder sister or your elder brother never did this to you. They never imposed their authority on you.
No, no, they never did. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So then it comes down to that when someone tries to exercise their authority on you, then you get triggered.
My second sister, she used to, because for studies only she used to do it, but I don't recollect that any um, other than studies, she never uh, you know uh, enforced anything on me.
Okay. And when she used to do it for studies, then also you would run away, or you would feel like you were being
Mm.
forced to do.
Yeah, yeah, I was enforced to do that. I used to run away. I was very weak in my studies in my early days. So she used to, she had taken the charge to make me sit and study. So yeah, at that time I used to run away. But yeah, I even if I'm going for playing, if she'll shout, I'll have to come back. All those things. I mean, So yeah, so she was, yeah,
Okay.
I think she was a bit dominating at that time. And if I'm playing, she'll just, show my book that I'm tearing it up if you're not coming upstairs and all. So all those things used to happen. And then I used to run and okay, yeah. So yeah. So I was afraid of her only for studies, of course. Uh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And what was their reason for doing it? What justification they gave to you? Why they were
It
doing it?
was only for studies only. There was no other uh, things that then forced me to do. It was only for studies because I was weak. Me and my brother, we are not twins, but we have been studying. We had studied in the same school, same class, even sometimes same sections as well. But he was always a brilliant child. He was always on, coming first, and I was, just getting the passing marks and clearing it up. So there was always a comparison that used to happen at home. There was tuition teacher for me, but he will complete his homework. Just after coming back to school, he'll just finish his homework first, and then he will have anything. So he was very studious. He used to come first, and I used to just get passing marks. So yeah, so I was being compared in my early days for studies and all.
Mhm. Mm.
Hmm.
Compared by your mother.
Compared by my mother, yes.
Mm. Mm.
Still
And
being compared as still the same thing. Yeah.
yes, they still do comparison for other things now.
Yes. For other things that this person has done so well and you haven't, be it handling day-to-day task. So my brother, he is like a perfectionist. I mean, anything he does, he will do it with perfection. If he's doing jhadu, he will make sure that there is no dust or anything left. Like any small thing he does it with perfection. Even if his
Right.
school bags will be neat and tidy, everything will be in a very proper manner. So yeah, and I was like kind of uh, bindas, kind of not much worry about all these things. ठीक है, कर दिया types.
Ah,
Hmm.
okay. Okay. Um, okay. And now you can see the same parallel. So what used to happen to you now you see that you are doing to others.
Hmm. Hmm.
Why you are doing to others?
Sorry, sorry.
So something that you didn't like when they were doing it to you.
Hmm.
So what is making you do it now?
Hmm. Yeah. Not sure how this got into me, but yeah, I mean, I'm
This
not
got
sure.
into you because
Hmm.
this is what
Hmm.
you have seen.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you have seen that when it is done like this, then you you did um, you did work.
Hmm.
So results were achieved.
Hmm.
So although you didn't like the process,
Mm,
But ultimately, if your sister, if they are comparing you or whatever is happening, then you were getting influenced and you were trying harder,
mm.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what you have learned, that this is how to get things done.
Mm,
See, this is very simple and complex at the same time. But the
mm,
simple simplicity part over here is that we all want love.
mm,
So your drive was fear. You wanted love and acceptance, but it was coming from fear of losing it.
mm,
And
mm,
that is why you did it, because you didn't want to lose it. You still want to have their love and acceptance and their approval.
mm,
But their way was not something you liked, but then you had no choice. You had to do it that way only.
mm.
That's the only way you have learned. You
Yeah.
The positive side of that one is to get things done with the power of love,
Mm,
showing compassion, showing love, showing real care and nurturing for the other person
mm.
is another way of doing it.
Correct. Correct.
Because, as I said, because the goal is love.
Mm, mm.
Everybody wants love. Hmm?
Correct.
So either you give it or you take away.
Mm,
When you take away love from the other person, then you will chase it.
mm,
So you were made to chase.
mm.
That's all what you have learned.
Yeah.
And now you will return that to others also, whether it's your kids or your
Mm,
husband or your colleagues or your reportees or anything. What you have
mm,
learned is take it away, and then people will be compelled to chase it. So they will be afraid, they will be fearful, and they will come after, and then they will do what you want them to do. So it's a control mechanism, it's a
mm,
manipulation mechanism. So I'm
mm,
not saying you are manipulating consciously, but you are manipulating unconsciously.
mm, mm,
Whereas the healthier side of it is to show love and compassion to the other person, show acceptance to the other person of how they are, who they are,
mm.
and that will empower them.
But what if, because I have tried that, I uh it's not like in the first attempt I will do shouting and all, but after 3 to 4 attempts, if the person is still on the is still sticking to the same uh view, or not moving, or not accepting what the changes are required, then only I get into that mode, or is having altogether
So
different
you
view
want,
about.
so you want an answer. You are saying that I've done it and it doesn't work. So you want an answer on that.
So I mean, I
I'm
get
saying, I'm saying you have not done it.
okay.
I don't think you have done it.
I
I don't doubt that you think you have done it. I'm not denying that,
mm,
but I am saying that you've never learned it. So how can you do it? आपको ऐसा लग रहा है कि आपने ऐसा किया है,
नहीं नहीं
and I agree with that.
एक्चुअली मैं डिस्कशंस मेरे काफी स्टार्टिंग में 1-2 डिस्कशंस होते हैं, बिकॉज वी कैन नॉट जस्ट गो एंड शाउट, ऑब्वियसली कंप्लेन हो जाएगा अगर ऐसे
पर
प्रोफेशनली भी
आप
किया या
समझ
पर्सनली भी
नहीं रहे
किया। करेक्ट। आई
पर
आई थिंक
प्रथा आप समझ नहीं रहे
हाँ।
कि अगर आप रियल एम्पावर्ड स्टेट में रहोगे तो ये दो तीन बार की बात है ही नहीं।
ओके। ओके।
हाँ, एम्पावर्ड स्टेट में अगर आप हो तो
हम्म।
फिर काउंटिंग क्यों चल रही है कि दो बार कर दिया, तीन बार कर दिया, अब मेरे को ये करना पड़ेगा।
हम्म।
तो फिर आपने वो एम्पावर्ड स्टेट कभी अचीव की ही नहीं थी ना।
ट्रू।
हाँ, तो मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ। वो आपको लग रहा है कि यू हैव एक्टेड फ्रॉम एन एम्पावर्ड स्टेट, और मैं उसको डिनाई नहीं कर रहा हूँ, क्योंकि ऑल दिस व्हाट यू आर सेइंग इज कमिंग फ्रॉम अ वेरी सबकॉन्शियस बिहेवियर, क्योंकि आपने ये कॉन्शियसली किया ही नहीं। ना तो जो आप गुस्सा कर रहे हो वो कॉन्शियसली कर रहे हो, और ना ही जो आप एम्पावर करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो वो कॉन्शियसली कर रहे हो। गुस्सा भी आपका ऑटोमेटिक है, और एम्पावरिंग भी जो आप करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो वो भी ऑटोमेटिक है।
करेक्ट।
दोनों में
आई
आपकी कोई
थिंक
चॉइस है ही नहीं एक्चुअली।
करेक्ट, आई थिंक फर्स्ट 3-4 अटेम्प्ट जो मैं करती हूँ, दैट इज कॉन्शियसली आई एम ट्राइंग टू हैंडल इट, एंड देन आई लूज टेम्पर. सो फोर्थ अटेम्प्ट में आई लूज इट, and 3 times it might not be coming from inside, but I am doing it in an artificial way, forcing
एग्जैक्टली
myself,
एग्जैक्टली, वो
forcing
टेक्निक है,
myself.
वो सिर्फ टेक्निक है। हाँ,
Correct.
और जहां पे टेक्निक की बात आती है वो एक सटल मैनिपुलेशन ही है।
Correct.
क्योंकि आपको ये लगता है कि वो होता है ना, साम दाम दंड भेद,
Correct. Correct.
पहले
Correct.
प्यार से कर लो, प्यार से
Exactly.
नहीं हुआ तो फिर डंडे से तो करना ही है।
हाँ, so that is what is happening.
हाँ, तो वो एम्पावर्ड स्टेट नहीं है, दैट इज नॉट द डेफिनेशन ऑफ एम्पावरमेंट। दैट्स ऑल आई कैन से टू यू कि वो, अगर आपको ऐसे लगता है कि मैंने किया है और वो नहीं हुआ है, तो मैं आपको यही बोल सकता हूँ कि आपने कभी किया ही नहीं। तो सीखने की जरूरत है, दैट इज ऑल आई एम पॉइंटिंग। ये मत
Okay.
सोच के बैठो कि मैंने तो ये कर दिया, ये हुआ नहीं। तो अंडरस्टैंड कि आपने कभी नहीं किया था वो, तो आपको वो स्क्रैच से सीखने की जरूरत है। वो
Okay.
आपको लग रहा है कि आपने किया था, तो किया नहीं था कभी।
Yeah, one thing I wanted to add to this. So basically, when we talk about trauma responses, so there are 4 different types of trauma responses. So hum usually we tend to look at fight or flight mode more often because they are more evident, राइट कि किसी भी सिचुएशन से कंप्लीटली अपने आप को हटा लेना, या किसी भी सिचुएशन में यू गेट अ लॉट ऑफ एंगर और रेज, और यू लाइक यू गेट सो अग्रेसिव टू prove your point or anything like that. So these two states are very evident in nature, but the other two, freeze and fawn, the other two are not evident. So in freeze state, the person is neither running away but nor showing anger or rage, but the person has frozen completely. They just cannot even compute what the heck is going on, and internally this the subconscious programming is going on, then that why do I even have to deal with it? Let me do one thing, that I don't respond to this at all, so the other person would do something, and then let me see. And the fawn response, in the fawn response, we are like trying to manipulate the situation, change the situation. We start people pleasing ki बहुत बार ऐसा होता है ना, we start getting into difficult conversations, and we are like कि अरे नहीं यार ऐसी बात थोड़ी ना है, तुम तो गलत समझ रहे हो, तुम तो ये है, तुम तो, then we start giving excuses. We try to change the topic, we try to change the context, we try to manipulate, or we try to जैसे कि ऑफिस में, ऑफिस स्पेस में, I have done this and I have seen other people doing it. The moment there's criticism involved and they're like कि नहीं मुझे तो ना ये पता ही नहीं था, I didn't know, even if they have done it so many times, or they will be like कि I don't know, मैंने तो ये देखा ही नहीं, मैंने तो ये है, मैंने तो वो है, all the excuses coming up, and these things happen. So these are different trauma responses, which we show up. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि the flight and fight mode is only the thing. So वो बाद में इसलिए आता है because the freeze and fawn did not work at all. तो अभी there's no option left but to either choose flight or fight, because it has now gotten like out of control. अभी कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते. Right. But the earlier ones, like Akarma was saying, they are also trauma responses. So, and we think that, we are understanding the situation. We are not responding haphazardly, or we are, trying to make it better, or we are trying to get into an agreement with somebody else. But that also can be a trauma response, because again, it comes back to the same point. It's not coming from an empowered state, because अंदर तो वो anxiety and अंदर वो जितना भी उथल पुथल है वो सब मची हुई है. It has not gone anywhere.
तो मेरे को जो इसके ऊपर एक थॉट ये आ रहा है कि two things that I would recommend that you look into to solve this situation for yourself, or at least walk towards solving this situation. One, I mentioned that you need to learn how to empower people and yourself. That's the first thing. So understand one thing कि ये आपने नहीं सीखा है, क्योंकि आपके एनवायरनमेंट में कभी ये था नहीं। तो इसमें कोई ब्लेम नहीं है कि ये है, बट इट इज मोर अबाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि ये नहीं था, तो ये आपने नहीं सीखा। तो अब द ओनरशिप एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑन यू टू लर्न and really understand कि what empowerment means and how you can empower yourself and other people. तो वो ऑटोमेटिक नहीं आएगा। ऐसा नहीं कि आपने एक बहुत टफ एनवायरनमेंट में जहाँ पे हमेशा से आपको इंटिमिडेट किया गया, इंटिमिडेट करके आपसे काम निकलवाया गया, या आपके चॉइसेस को क्वेश्चन करके इसे करके किया, और फिर एकदम से आप बड़े हुए और आप अथॉरिटी में आ गए तो आप उसका कुछ अपोजिट कर दोगे। ऐसा नहीं होता है, बिकॉज वट एवर वी लर्न इज वॉट वी शो इन लाइफ, एंड यू ऑलरेडी आर एक्सपीरियंसिंग। जो आपके साथ हुआ आप वही कर रहे हो, और आपको पता भी नहीं चला कब आप वो बन गए जिन लोगों से आपको इतनी प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी, और कब लाइफ में आप वही बन गए और वैसा ही करने लग गए।
करेक्ट।
तो ये नेचुरल है ऐसा होना। तो इसको ब्रेक करने के लिए हमको वो चीजें सीखनी होंगी जो हमें नहीं सिखाई गई, या हमने नहीं वो चीज एडॉप्ट की। तो बिना उसको प्रॉपरली सीखे, बिना किसी गाइडेंस के, बिना उनको लिए ये नहीं हो पाए, अनलेस कि यू। तभी मैंने आपसे पहले पूछा था ये क्वेश्चन कि कितना अवेयर हो, कितना क्या है, कितना पहले आपने काम किया है, इस चीज को देखा है। क्योंकि ये डीआईवाई वाली चीज नहीं है। डीआईवाई वाली चीज ऐसे है कि आपको कोई डायरेक्शन तो पहले दे कि ये है। ये चीजें ऐसे नहीं कि बस एकदम से आपके जहन में आ जाएंगी कि हाँ ये करना, क्योंकि वो तो रियलिटी आपके लिए एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं कर रही है, कभी आपने देखा ही नहीं। तो हाउ विल यू इवन एक्सप्लोर दैट साइड? तो किसी को तो आपको एक डायरेक्शन में पॉइंट करना पड़ेगा कि इस रास्ते पे चलो। तो चलना तो आपको ही है, सीखना तो आपको ही है, but
Correct.
someone has to show you the way, which nobody has showed you the way before. So here, two things that you need to do now is, one, you work on your own attachment style. So जैसे हमने कई बार बात की, you would have probably attended other calls before as well. So 3 insecure styles are there and 1 secure style. So you have to work on moving from your own insecure attachment style to secure attachment style. That will bring um, groundedness in you. That is for you. तो वो आपके लिए जरूरी है, ये दवाई आपके लिए है कि you figure out and you work on your attachment style. And for the other people, to empower other people, what you need to do is एक और e-learning journey हमने बनाई है, which is 7 core needs of human design. You need to study that. You need to study those 7 core human needs, and you need to really imbibe. वो बहुत ज्यादा बड़ी e-learning journey नहीं है, 7 days की ही है, but I would like you to really contemplate. मतलब वो एक जो लेसन है वो 5 या 10 मिनट का ही है, बट आपको अगर एक लेसन पे 2-2, 3-3 दिन भी लगे ना कॉन्टेम्पलेट करने के लिए, तो आप लगाओ, क्योंकि आपको ना उसको रियली में एब्जॉर्ब करने की जरूरत है। उन वो 7 कोर नीड्स जो हैं, वो जब तक आप पूरी तरह से समझ के उसको अपनी दिल में नहीं उतार लोगे, तब तक आप दूसरे इंसान को एम्पावर नहीं कर पाओगे। और ये एक बार उतर गई ना आपके दिल में, ये आपको अच्छी तरह समझ में आ गया ना, तो समझ लो कि अगर वो 7 दिन का हमने डिजाइन किया और आपने अगर 15 दिन भी लिए ना वो करने के लिए, दैट वुड बी द बेस्ट टाइम स्पेंड दोस 15 डेज। क्योंकि उसके बाद जो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन आएगा आपके बिहेवियर में, वो एक अलग लेवल का ही होगा, एंड दैट विल हेल्प यू विद your direct reportees, with your kids, with other people that would lead in it. It's nothing to do with personal or professional. It's about how we take care of ourselves and how we take care of other people. It is about emotional intelligence. At the end of the day, our whole work is about emotional intelligence. तो तो वो सीखने की जरूरत है आपको. तो एज आई सेड, यू नीड टू लर्न हाउ टू एम्पावर. ये नहीं मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि वो 7 कोर नीड्स पढ़ने के बाद आपको सब पता चल जाएगा एम्पावरमेंट के बारे में, नहीं. पर आपको एक डायरेक्शन मिल जाएगी जब आपने वो 7 कोर नीड्स इम्बाइब कर ली, और वो इम्बाइब करके आप डे टू डे लाइफ में जब लोगों से इंटरेक्ट कर रहे हो और वो आप अप्लाई कर रहे हो, तो आपको जो रिजल्ट्स आने लगेंगे और आपको जो चीजें दिखने लगेंगी, दैट विल इंस्पायर यू टू डिग मोर एंड लर्न मोर अबाउट दिस.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Sure thing. I'll go
Yeah,
through it. Karna. Thank you. I just found it. I was searching it. So yeah, 7 core needs of human design. Yeah. I'll go through it.
I think you already subscribed to our system now.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yeah, तो make use of it. Go through that. उसमें people psychology वाले section में हमने 3 जर्नीज बनाई हैं 7 days की. वो तीनों करो आप.
Okay.
You will learn more about people psychology. You will learn about how to deal with people. It will improve your emotional intelligence. It will help you to deal better. But वो करने से पहले आप अपनी attachment style को भी देखो, क्योंकि first you need to grow. Otherwise ना ये techniques बन के रह जाएंगी.
Correct, correct.
ठीक है ना? तो दोनों दवाइयाँ साथ साथ ही खानी.
Yeah, sorry, I'm interrupted you. ये 7 core is under what? E-learnings only.
Yeah, they are in e-learning journeys.
Okay, thank you.
शायद उसका नाम कुछ और रहेगा. I have to check. I think they may be called demystifying.
No, the name of it is 7 core needs of human design only.
Okay. The name is 7 core needs of human design. So each 7 days journey. Each day we present with one, give you some contemplation pointers, and that will help you. But अगर आपको 1 नहीं 2 दिन भी लगाओ तो लगाओ उसके ऊपर, और जितना उसके ऊपर सोच, जितना उसको रिलेट कर सकते हो अपनी लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस के साथ. एक एक चीज को सिर्फ पढ़ के उसको ना नॉवल की तरह नहीं पढ़ना है और नॉवल की तरह नहीं एब्जॉर्ब करना है, या ऐसा बस कंटेंट की तरह ऐसा नहीं कि अच्छा हाँ ये भी पता चल गया, ये भी पता चल गया. नहीं, उसको रिलेट करो, उसको अपने लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस से रिलेट करो. पीछे पीछे के इंसिडेंट्स देखो कि हाँ ये कैसे हुआ. लाइक नाउ आई गेट इट कि वो इंसान ये मांग रहा था मुझसे और मैं ये दे रही थी. यू स्टार्ट टू सी द डिस्कनेक्ट कि ये क्यों हो रहा था, ये कॉन्फ्लिक्ट क्यों हो रहा था, क्योंकि वो इंसान की नीड उस समय ये थी और मैं ये कर रही थी. तो ये चीजें आपको खुद की कॉन्टेम्पलेशन करनी है, बिकॉज ये आंसर्स आपको किसी के साथ शेयर नहीं करने हैं, हमारे साथ भी शेयर नहीं करने, किसी के साथ शेयर नहीं करने. सो जस्ट बी ऑनेस्ट विद दैट कि हाँ ये मेरे को अब दिख रहा है, क्लियरली दिख रहा है कि वो इंसान उस समय इस सिचुएशन में उसकी नीड ये थी और मैं जब अटेम्प्ट कर रही थी तो मैं इस एंगल से कर रही थी, एंड आई कैन नाउ सी कि डिस्कनेक्ट क्यों हो रहा था. तो स्टार्ट टू रिव्यू योर लाइफ एज यू आर रीडिंग दोस थिंग्स एंड टेक योर टाइम.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to add to, this whole conversation. So a good question, I'll be just sharing a question. So a good question to ask yourself in this particular context is, Lata, that in case you don't respond the way you are currently responding, then what would happen? ऐसा क्या हो जाएगा which you're fearing and because of which you're responding like this? So this would not be the core on root level cause and everything, but this will give you the clarity that what is that fear, what is it that you're afraid of, because of which these defense mechanisms, जैसे ही वो situation आई and the guards are up.
Correct.
तो ऐसा कौन सा fear है कि criticism हो जाएगा, you'll feel small, you'll feel and connect the dots. Karma already spoke about, where it is coming from. Is it, when did you feel it, earlier, in the past, in your childhood, whenever? So connect the dots, ki, then how these fears are coming. But when you do the attachment style journey thoroughly, तो उसमें भी इसी type का है, and you will explore this in different dimensions and in different areas. But अगर जैसे आज बैठ के you want to contemplate on this because we just discussed, so I just wanted to give you that question.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Anamika.
Yeah, thank you. Someone's hand is up and we cannot see your name. So can you please unmute yourself and talk?
Hey, hi, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, I'm Divya. I'm new to this group, and I just joined maybe 2-3 days back. I got an invite on Single Mothers Group on Facebook. So I
Okay.
just wanted to understand. I know this session is for 1 hour, right?
Yes. Well, we talk as much time is required. So yeah, we usually try to wrap up in 1 hour, but sometimes we
So
go over
nice.
time as well. So that's okay.
Yeah, I
Can we know your name because it's not coming up?
is it okay? My name is Divya. Divya.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I
There is no name coming up. This is very strange. It's just blank. There is no name coming up.
funny, right? No, maybe I logged in from a
Okay.
different email ID this time. Yeah, not
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Not sure. Yeah. So, can you tell me in brief, because I'm telling you, this is what I actually needed, the group and the answers that I want. I have been indirectly getting it already since last 3-4 days. Yeah. So, can I
Okay.
understand from you how do I maximum benefit? Maybe not on this call. Maybe we'll end up using other people's time. Maybe someone of you can get in touch with me later to help me understand how exactly I can get maximum from this group and how I can be of help to others also. Yeah.
Um, See, the objective of this group is to discuss personal challenges. As there is a group description that we have written, and we very clearly written that we don't entertain any kind of philosophical, hypothetical discussions or anything. What if this happens? What if that happens?
Super.
We don't have that time and bandwidth to encourage that kind of discussions. So the only thing that we want is people to discuss what challenge they are facing right now. Like what Lata mentioned, very
Yeah,
practical
I
thing.
learned
She's
so
facing
much
some
from
challenge.
Lata's conversation. I'm telling
Right.
you, I learned
So
half of my the questions were answered. So,
right.
Karma, can I come up with a very small question?
Yes. So I'll just answer a few more things before that.
Yes,
Before you
please.
come, so
Sorry.
you asked how can I use this platform?
Yeah.
Now these calls we do 3 calls every week. One we do on so Wednesday calls usually are done by Kumar, and Kumar takes care of the area of singles, 30 plus singles who are struggling with relationships and any relationship related challenges or the finding the right partner or anything to do with singles. That's what he does. But because we were on leave, he was filling our space. We do our calls on Sundays, but Kumar and Vanchika have been filling our space. So today we kind of gave him a little bit of break. He wasn't feeling well also to do the call today. Um, so we doing our call today. So usually Wednesdays is about
Oh,
30 plus singles challenges that they are facing. Vanchika does her calls on Fridays. That is about parenting, um, any kind of parenting related issues. And then Sundays we do our call, which is often open in the sense that it is anything about relationship. So how to make relationships more fulfilling, more harmonious, more conscious, and anything like that. Open mic that we do usually, all these calls that we do, they have some kind of topic, just as a discussion. So we are
yeah.
on target. But open mics are something which there is no topic. We just ask two, three people, 1 hour, we kind of say, okay, 15, 20 minutes we spend with each person. They can speak about their challenge and we'll see where we can get. I don't guarantee that in 20 minutes we will get a solution, but at least let's talk and let's see where we get in 15, 20 minutes. And we try to give two, three people chance to talk about um, uh, their, uh, their problem. Now, all these calls are recorded and they are put on our YouTube channel. So if you can't attend, then listen to those recordings. However, we always encourage that attend the calls because they are more interactive YouTube channel than it's just one way. You just
Yeah.
listen to a
Yeah.
radio. So, but if you are missing for whatever reason, then the second best option is go and listen to the recording. There's already almost 70 conversations on many different topics on relationships. So you search through that, and whatever topic you find relevant for yourself, you listen to it. Um, then another thing is if you're not clear about your problem and you feel that I can't discuss in the group, I don't have that kind of, I'm too shy or something very confidential and you don't want to discuss that in the group, that's okay. Then we just say you can book our personal time, book a clarity call with us, and then we can discuss one on one. We have created e-learning journeys portal, which is a DIY healing journeys. Many journeys are already
Loaded
uploaded there, and we
on
keep
the
creating new
website.
content. These journeys are created in the
Loaded on
same
the
way.
web.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We'll share the link. Anyway, all these links you will find if you just go to the group description. Group description link will take you to all these things that I'm talking
Is
about.
it? Okay.
You will find all these links that I'm talking about from the group
Yeah, I
description
saw
link.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So that's how you'll find it. These libraries are there. These journeys are created exactly in the same way as if we would be doing one-on-one coaching with someone. So let's say if someone comes and says, "I don't know how to set healthy boundaries with people." So we created a e-learning journey of 21 days as if we would be doing one-on-one coaching with someone. Whatever journey we will take them, whatever contemplation questions we'll ask them, whatever assignments we will give them, we've created a journey out of that.
Yeah. Wow. This
So
is
we've
really
done
excellent.
many of those journeys are there. The library is there. The link is there as well. You can explore the library. It's a subscription based model.
Right.
You can subscribe for a month or 3 months or 6 months or 1 year. Usually the most popular plan is 3 months that people subscribe for.
Right.
But now I have seen lately most people are subscribing for 6 months. Last year it was 3 months, but now most people are subscribing for 6 months.
Yeah.
So there in the library, we have a lot of different types of meditations that Anamika records herself.
Yeah.
Many subliminals that we have uploaded. If you don't know what subliminals are, then in that library there is a short video which also talks about what subliminals are. So a lot of content is there, and we keep posting new content. So if your subscription is alive, then you have access to all the content.
Excellent. Yeah. I am on it and yeah, I shall go through it. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if this,
And then
so,
finally,
mhm.
one-on-one coaching is there. If you feel that many people feel they subscribe to our DIY library, but they feel that yeah they are good, but I'm not able to stick to it, or they want some personal hand holding and they say that yeah I need personal hand holding, I don't think I can do it myself, then they approach us for coaching calls. Coaching clients, we have very limited slots. We only work with coaching clients 2 days a week on Wednesdays and Thursdays,
Okay.
and we only take 2 to 3 coaching gigs in parallel as such. So
Yeah. Yeah.
this
So
is
it is,
limited
so
coaching.
when we go for the personal consultation, it is with you both, Anamika and Akarma, or either or? Because
So
I
we
found,
work we
mhm,
work in a we work in a team. So we have a team of 4 coaches, but all our engagements we make sure that at least 2 coaches are present in each engagement with each client.
excellent.
So
Yeah.
usually so we assign the coaches depending on the assignment. Like I said, that Kumar is an expert in singles area. Vanshika is an expert in parenting. We are there. So depending on the problem that we are discussing, we assign the team. But there will always be two coaches working with the client. So it's not one coach. So two coaches are assigned for every engagement.
Yeah. All right. That's great. Thank you so much, Akarma. I'm not sure if my case is suitable for this call, but yeah, if you allow, I can share, or if someone else is already in the queue, maybe
Sure,
you can.
sure. You can talk. Let's see. If it's not, then I'll tell you. But
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead, tell her.
perfect. So, long story cut short, it is not that I've never got answers. I'm always very curious and I try to find my own ways. But then there are certain stuck points. So I am a single parent since last 6 years, and the separation process is still on, the divorce process. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very easy. It was very easy initially because, it was new and everything went as per how I wanted, and but as the challenges come, I'm not able to handle it. Recently, in last 1 2 years, especially during and post COVID, I have seen a new side of me, who is more impatient, who gets more anxious, who is more sad, which I was never. I myself am a lifestyle management consultant. I'm a nutrition counselor. So I help people change the way they, they're active in this. But sometimes I have my own breakdown moments. So I really wanted to understand that all of this, nothing worries me, but all of this has started harming the relationship between me and my 9-year-old. Of course, yeah, because
Right.
yeah, so I changed jobs,
So
I
when you say
changed
all this,
country.
you mean when you say all this, you mean the ongoing case.
The on Very good, Akarma. Uh, the ongoing case, and my relationship with my friends, and some other people which were again not successful, and I've started questioning myself, that am I a really a right person to get into a long term relationship with anyone. So as
Mm,
as a teen also, or teen, I mean later teens also, I had a failed relationship, and then a failed marriage, and then again a failed relationship. So I have I question myself, that am I made for long term relationships? Because when I see myself from my eyes, Akarma, I feel that, I mean, who else would be so, giving? Who else would be so hardworking? Who
mm,
else would do everything, but why me? So,
mm, mm,
it be anything, taking care of house, taking care of health, fitness, taking care of kids, their education, and everything. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm very proud of myself. But
mm,
yeah, but when I see other people who are very successful in their marriages, um, they are so easy in life. They are not at all competitive. They are not at all ambitious. They're not at all. I mean, they don't have any regulation like kind of things. I know I'm very particular about everything, but like I thought that I would have a really successful marriage, and I saw ourselves as a very power couple, because we are so our career flourished and everything went so well. By the way I handle things, yeah. So uh, and then of course he got into other relationship when we were married, and therefore I said it's okay, and it was, and I just got out and I said it's okay, and I have been taking care of my son, and we are fine without him. But somewhere I feel that I'm not made for long term relationships, you know and it irritates me. I feel that there's
Was
lack of love in my life. Yeah.
what was marriage the only long-term relationship you had? You had any relationship before your marriage?
Before I had, again, that breakup was again because that person also fell out of love. And 3 years after I got separated to my husband, I got into another relationship, but that also fell out of love. Not sure, uh,
Do you
because
feel do you feel that you people often take you for granted?
I used to feel people take me for granted, but recently I have that victim wala jo tha na emotion, wo I have kind of overcome it. But yeah, this is deep. So people take me for granted. I used to feel, but now I don't feel it as much. Yeah. And not just
That's okay.
relationship. Yeah, if even if I financially help my brother or my parents or anyone, uh, earlier when I never used to get back from them, I used to feel a little low about it, but now I just ignore. I just give in and I just forget it. Yeah.
Okay. And the other relationship before marriage, you mentioned that that guy also fell out of love.
Yeah.
Did you feel taken for granted in that relationship?
100%, of course. Yeah. That was a big hit.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, what have you done about this?
About um,
Not being taken for granted.
uh, to space myself out from these people. I
Okay,
pay.
that's fine. That's okay. But I'm saying that
Mm,
I'm sure you would have heard that these situations come in our life to teach us something. You know this happens with people all the time. You are in a job and your manager is making your life hell, or if the problem is there, then people change their job, and then 6 months later they find themselves in the similar situation
mhm.
with another different people. So why it happens is because removing ourselves from that situation is the easiest thing to do. But then what changed in us? Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know someone has already
So
told
that's
me
what
this.
I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah, someone
That's what I'm
already.
asking. What
Mm.
have you done about it?
I just keep giving. And I'm facing the same cycle with my son, who is becoming so
Yeah,
demanding. I want to give, but it is the other way now. He's just been asking, you know, because he's so used
yeah,
to this habit of receiving. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And see, if you just remove a mother-son relationship label for a minute on this thing, what I'm going to say to you, and only explore it from a human being point of view, then fast forward 10, 15, 20 years when he's grown up and
Excuse
he's
me,
going
I
to get
can't
married.
hear you. Actually, your voice is very low. Can you check out your settings,
Okay.
please?
Can you hear
No, I
me, Divya, or is it
It's clear.
Yeah, it's clear to me too.
yeah, it's clear. It's clear, Karma.
Mhm.
Maybe
okay?
Shreya, you might want to just log off and log in again and check.
Okay. So if you just fast forward this and imagine that if your son is now becoming very demanding and all that, is he going to be any different with his wife?
Is it going to be any different?
Is he going to be any different with his wife? He's also going to attract a person like that who ultimately will also feel taken for granted,
Oh, wow. Yeah. Hmm.
right? So what future he has with his relationship with his wife?
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So lately
Because
I've.
he
Hmm.
will feel so entitled with all these things. He will feel so entitled because this is what he's learning,
Of course.
right? Either
And
he
that.
will do this with his wife, so one or the other will happen. Either he will also do this thing with his wife, or his wife will do this with him.
Yeah. Yeah. Because this single parent. Your
hear anything from your end.
I'm sorry.
Your voice was breaking in
Yes,
between.
yes.
Divya, yes.
Can you
Can you say
can you
again?
actually repeat what you just said, Divya?
No, no. Yes, yes. So I said it is a single parent guilt, Kumar, that makes me feel that, let me give him the best of what I am capable of. You know what I'm saying?
But Divya, you see this pattern. It's nothing to do with single parent. You were doing this even when you were not single parent. You have been doing this even when you were not married.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So it's only the excuse has changed. You're still doing the same thing. Only the reason has changed now.
Okay, I have one question to ask from Divya.
Yes,
So,
Anamika.
Divya, who in either of your parents used to do this? Overgiving and one is over receiving. One is not doing anything and one is doing it all the time.
None. My mother was a homemaker, but
Hmm.
she made me really independent.
Mm-hmm.
Me, not my brother. Yeah.
No,
But
I'm
yeah,
not saying how they behaved with you. I'm saying how they used to behave with each other.
mom and dad,
Yeah.
marvelous, marvelous relationship any couple could ever have. So, such a strong bond. Yeah. They had so much of support to each other, so much of respect to each other.
Okay.
I expected the same from the relationships I had. It has to be, as respectful, it has to be as supportive. So what uh, uh, challenges come? But then I understood that not everyone is as capable or as strong as you want them to be. Yeah.
I cannot hear Divya. Can anybody else confirm?
I
I
cannot
cannot
hear it
hear it.
too.
Yeah.
Maybe we just
Yeah.
lost.
Am I audible
Now
now?
you are. Now you are,
Yeah.
Divya.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just
Yes.
repeat
Yes.
what you were saying.
So my parents had the marvelous relationship. They had the very strong bond, and yeah, they were one of the best couples in the family. Very supportive despite of the financial crisis and everything. Am I audible now?
Mm. Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So I kind of expected this from every relationship. But see, the first relationship before marriage, okay, it was one of the, early years, and we were in late teens. And it was all about how beautiful a girl looks, and he obviously fell for someone more pretty and more beautiful. Example, I'm just thinking from what I know. But then I tried to make myself really super strong and potential and an all-rounder, get the best student award, after that breakup, and get the best cadet award from the government, state government, and all of that, and do multiple jobs uh, during my education, do a lot of learn and earn. I kind of went into proving myself, and this continued after my marriage also. I got married to someone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes,
So
yes.
Yes,
I got
you are.
married to. I belong to a very prestigious family in the community, but I got married to someone who belonged to a very disturbed family. And with just one Mangalsutra, we got married. And I told him, no, we'll make it happen. I'm there. Hum karenge. So my approach in marriage, I'm telling you, was about savior wala approach se gayi thi main. You know what I'm saying? I just entered that marriage with a mission of saving their family, and that we can do it. We will do it. But I think it actually fell back when they felt that I am too controlling and too overpowering. Also, yeah. Uh, After I got separated, I understood that no, I need to settle down, and it's time. And 3 years after my separation, I met someone who was just someone who I ever wanted, with yeah, I ever wished for, who was as giving in this. but it actually came out that he had a secret story that he was already married, and I got to know that 2 years after our relationship. So that was again a big hit on me. I said, okay, why me? When I was ready for a relationship, uh, after 3 years of separation, when I was looking at this new person as a new entry in our family. Why did he do this? Why did he come when he was not prepared for us for lifetime? You know. So
So,
only after I
tell me one thing.
befriended, yeah,
Tell me one
yeah,
thing, Divya. The stories that you are talking about, they sound more like coming from a very wounded and toxic feminine energy. So, do you have any history of any kind of abuse?
yeah, I do. Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
not sure if I know anyone in this group, but Lata's conversation helped me, and
Hmm. Yeah, because you mentioned that your parents' relationship and all that was all good, and what you are describing to me sounds like something
yes. So
that got created in you
yeah,
from a
yeah, I
different
did.
way.
My brother kind of exploited me. Uh, yeah, it's so sorry to say
Hmm.
this, but yeah, he did. But then I have
No,
forgiven
that's
him
okay.
because,
We have
yeah,
we have a group of 500 plus people,
yeah,
and you will be amazed that
yeah,
there are so many women, and many have come and talked about
yeah, yeah,
such things. So
yeah,
this is the reason why we want to keep these conversations
yeah.
practical and to the point.
No, no, of
So
course, totally with you, totally with you, Karma. So yeah, yeah, my brother did exploit me, and then after that, I just went into that victim mode of being saved
this
by
is where
someone.
that savior mode is coming from.
है ना? Yeah, so being saved.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
That needs to be healed. So your healing is more to do with um, energy blocks.
acha,
We have talked about this. There is a blog post I have written as well, and talk about that the healing completes in two parts. One we call the mind blocks, and one we call the energy blocks. Mind blocks are something. A good example is the conversation I was having with Lata. So these are some mind blocks which can be overcome through some contemplation, doing some e-learning journeys, learning more, improving the emotional intelligence side, and all that. So that will help Lata. That will not help you. This means it will not completely help you because your problems are little bit different than that.
yeah,
So your problems are more coming from the blocked energies,
yeah,
and they require energy healing more than um, the mind blocks, because mind blocks got created later. Energy blocks got created first for you.
yeah,
So
yeah.
your healing needs to come from there. Have you done anything on that end, in that front?
No, Akarma, but I can really relate. I had posted this as an anonymous person in one of the women support groups on Facebook, and they gave me the same answer. The supportive women as commenters, they gave me the same answer as you, Akarma. So now this comes as a reminder to me that yeah, I need to work on it. Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. So when you say I need to work on it, understand one thing, that energy healing is not a DIY thing.
yeah,
So mind blocks, yes, DIY. We can give you a direction and we can say do this, or you can do your own research and you can create your own healing process. Mind blocks can be done, can be worked upon like that. Energy blocks, you would have to work with an energy healer. It's not something you can do yourself.
yeah,
So the sooner you will understand this, the sooner you can start work on it and get out of this, because it's not DIY. Now, it doesn't matter whether you do it with us or you do it with somebody else. I just want you to understand that don't do it DIY because it's not a DIY.
No, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
So find a good energy healer if you know someone. Check.
Anyone from our group?
Um,
Yeah.
no, I'm not saying in our group. I'm saying that um, if you prefer, what I'm saying is that Anamika herself is an energy healer,
Okay.
right? So you can approach her and talk about it with her. If you want to find someone local where you live, or you have a friend or someone who does this, you prefer somebody else you want to work with, that's also fine. But this is the direction you need to take.
Understood. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, because when people look at me, Karma, I'm telling you, they get really inspired. That दिव्या तू कैसे कर सकती है? You know how on earth are you so bold? How on earth you are so courageous? How can you, you know? They know my journey, entrepreneurial journey, while I was struggling, and then how I came up, and then how I chose, challenging corporate jobs, and I just made it happen. Everything I made it happen. But lately, I have been facing issues of, as I mentioned earlier, issues of anger and less patience, which is so not me with my son. And he's been starting looking at me with different eyes that, that mom, this is not done, this is not the way. Because, yeah, because I think it's the buildup of frustration also. But yes, I'll continue to work on that. Uh, Again, that's a DIY thing, the frustration part and managing emotions and being a more emotionally matured parent. But yes, regarding energy healer, yes, I'll get in touch with Anamika and get more insights from her. Yeah.
Sure. Where do you live? In which city?
I'm in Pune, Akarma. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we do a Shakti element retreat, which is actually about this only energy healing. It's for women only,
Okay, cool.
and we just did one in Delhi. We just came back. We were on trip for that only. We just came back from there,
Okay.
and we are planning to do another one in Pune, but we haven't decided the date. So let's see. Um,
Mm,
Shakti element retreat details are there on our website, so have a look at it
of course.
and see. Otherwise, you get in touch with the Namika also
Yes.
and see. So this is more of a one-on-one work.
Yes.
This is not
Understood.
DIY, and this is something you need to do one-on-one with a healer.
Understood. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you so much, Akarma, for having yours. Yeah. Hmm.
No problem.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say that not only just on the energy healing, this will require some NLP as well. We have done this with a few of our clients who have gone through this kind of cycle, and I know that this requires a very different way of handling.
It requires a
So
very
it's a
different
it's a
way of.
combination of energy healing and NLP that needs to be done. Yeah. It's not a e-learning journey job, so
Yeah.
you won't find the answer in our portal for this.
Yeah. So you said combination of energy healing and
NLP,
NLP.
I'm sorry, I miss you on the second one. And
NLP, neuro linguistic programming.
NLP. Oh, okay. 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 Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Um, Prerna, your hand was up. You still want to talk, or
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, everybody. Uh,
Hello.
yeah. So actually, I just wanted to speak on like I'm expecting in June, and the thing was
okay,
it is a planned pregnancy. It was not that it wasn't planned or something, but I am going through it alone. So there are two parts. One is like I'm little scared now as to, because I have been on therapy, and I've been seeing psychiatrists for more than 3-4 years now. But then suddenly, because my therapist, one of my therapists stopped working, like she stopped her practice, and I'm unable to find a therapist. So I'm kind of spiraling back to my childhood again and again. And
Are you on a medication?
no,
Some
no,
kind
no.
of medication?
Actually, that I'll come to that too. So I have been to a lot of psychiatrists for medication. So initially they gave me medication for depression, and then it wasn't working for me. Matlab, actually I stay alone. I have left my house when I was 20. I moved to another city because I wanted to get away from my family and have no contact with them. So so I had to juggle work and everything, and the medicines that they gave me made me a lot loopy. I was very, very young to understand like how it works and everything, but then that psychiatrist did not understand what I was going through, so I left it in between. Then before, like 1 year ago, I again went to a psychiatrist. Somehow I got gathered my courage and I went back again. He diagnosed me with MDD and borderline personality. But then the medicines he gave me for MDD and borderline personality again were making me too loopy. I was continuously telling him it's not working. There's something not right. It's like I used to go on numb and I used to take those medicines. And at that point I never used to understand whether I'm not reacting या फिर मुझे बुरा नहीं लग रहा है. बस मुझे react करने की हिम्मत ही नहीं बचती थी. So I spoke to my therapist. It's not working. So she gave me another psychiatrist. Then she diagnosed me with adult ADHD. But then till then I was like done, because any new person I speak to gives me a diagnosis, tells me like this is what. But somewhere I have nobody to actually help me out with this. Also, I stay alone. So like it's like then I thought कि शायद से if I'm depressed and I'm talking to a psychiatrist तो वो सिर्फ उतना ही समझ रहे हैं और बाकी आगे पीछे का नहीं समझ रहे हैं. तो that was like उसके बाद I stopped my borderline personality के medicines भी. उसके बाद I haven't gone back to any psychiatrist.
How long? कितने time तक ली वो medicine?
I have taken that from Jan to August.
अच्छा, last year.
Yeah.
Jan to August. Okay. और उसके side effects क्या थे?
साइड इफेक्ट्स था कि एक तो जब मैं मॉर्निंग में लेती थी तो आई यूज टू मतलब आई एम अ वेरी एक्टिव पर्सन, हाइपर एक्टिव पर्सन, नॉट एक्टिव, वेरी हाइपर एक्टिव पर्सन. बट देन सडनली आई हैड नो एनर्जी. आई स्पीक अ लॉट. आई नेवर यूज्ड टू स्पीक टू एनीबॉडी. आई यूज्ड टू जस्ट सिट इन माय कॉर्नर. आई यूज्ड टू लव गोइंग टू वर्क. एंड मैं कुछ भी नहीं कर पाती थी, कुछ भी नहीं कर पाती थी. And that was
So did you used to have, or right now you have like episodes of extreme mood swings?
nobody. Matlab, at this point, whenever I speak to somebody, they are just preparing me for कि you put CCTV up for pregnancies and everything. I'm like, I don't need, like, even if I tell them I don't need it, I need something else. It's like, no, you first listen to us, and then that irritates me, because for me CCTV से ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है कि मैं डेली फंक्शनल रहूँ, या फिर मैं प्रेगनेंसी की दवाइयाँ अगर भूल जाती हूँ, या फिर मैं डॉक्टर अपॉइंटमेंट में डॉक्टर के पास जाना करती हूँ, तो मुझे उन सब चीजों में थोड़ा सा एक पुश चाहिए, मतलब एक बोलता है हेल्प चाहिए था करने के लिए. बट देन
तो आपने ये बोला कि ये प्रेगनेंसी प्लान्ड है, but you are saying कि you are also doing it alone. तो प्रेग्नेंट होने के बाद you got separated या you were separated already?
No. Actually, the thing is कि it was like we had a big fallout, but then after the fallout, I got to know that I'm pregnant. So I decided not to abort.
अच्छा. Okay. Or while you were pregnant, you were still taking these medicines or not?
No, I'm not taking anything.
Okay. How months pregnant you are now?
I'm in my 5th month.
ओके। और जब ये बॉर्डरलाइन डिटेक्ट किया था तो आपको आपको मूड स्विंग्स होते थे क्या, लाइक एक्सट्रीम मूड स्विंग्स?
एक्चुअली ये ऐसा होता है कि आई हैव फेजेस, मतलब आई वोंट कॉल देम एज मूड स्विंग्स, आई हैव फेजेस, लाइक इन 30 days I have you can say 20 days of high productive days and 10 days of no productive days.
हाँ,
तो वो
right.
मूड स्विंग्स नहीं होते थे मेरे, ऐसे ये फेजेस मुझे बचपन से हैं।
अंडरस्टैंड,
हाँ।
बचपन से हैं।
हम्म।
तो एकदम एक्सट्रीम हाई एंड एक्सट्रीम लो।
हाँ, बट लो में ऐसा होता था कि जैसे माय डॉग्स आर वेरी, आई हैव 2 dogs, माय डॉग्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू मी। आई यूज्ड टू स्टे विद अ गर्ल लक्ष्मी, शी वाज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर मी। सो उन दिनों में आई कैन डू एवरीथिंग फॉर देम, बट एनीथिंग दैट रिलेट्स टू मी आई एम अनएबल टू डू इट।
हाँ, समझ गया, समझ गया।
And then it was like it is all to, because I might have had it hereditary, but then I have no idea. I don't have any relationship with my father, and I've had endured abuse for more than 18 years. I was in an abusive child. I had a very abusive childhood, and I had a very dependent mother on me. So basically वही था कि मैंने बचपन से हर चीज, बोलते हैं ना कि मॉम का कभी किसी का गाइडेंस था नहीं। I've always taken, I've always handled things on my own. And now with the kid, I don't know, मतलब I'm really scared कि I don't want the kid to do what I have done या फिर what I feel is right. And since I have done it for so long, I basically don't listen to a lot of people. मतलब I have to be like actually sat down and they have to like really get
तो
through me.
इतने साल तक यू सेड कि बचपन से ये होता था, तो इतने साल तक यू नेवर डायग्नोस्ड इट, तो अभी क्यों डायग्नोस किया?
और किसी मैं
व्हाट मेड यू गो टू इट?
and actually मैं बोलते रहती थी मम्मा को कि there is something not right that's working with me, but then सबको लगता था कि वो मेरे tantrums हैं। वो बोलते, मम्मी खुद बोलती थी कि अगर ये पढ़ ले तो एग्जाम में एकदम टॉप मारेगी, अगर इसको नहीं करना तो ये कुछ नहीं करेगी। तो मैं बोलती रहती थी। उसके बाद ऐसा था कि once I shifted out of my, left my house, then I had to fend for myself and everything. Once I started earning, जिसमें थोड़ी saving होती थी to go to a mental health, because that's not cheap too. उसके बाद से diagnosis का सिलसिला शुरू हुआ।
And when they diagnosed you for ADHD, was it more on the inattentive side or was it more on the hyperactivity side?
It was more on the hyperactive side.
Okay. Okay.
But then I am now very scared because now I don't have a therapist that's there and everything. And I after so many people telling me so many different things, so I'm very scared also, because one wrong thing will affect me more, because then ऐसा होता है कि अभी कोई एक diagnosis मिलती है तो that stays with me for a longer time. When I'm researching like how do I deal with it and what is there and everything, then मेरा पूरा रूटीन खराब हो जाता है। और अभी अगर मेरा रूटीन खराब होगा तो मैं प्रेगनेंसी से गोना गेट अफेक्टेड।
तो आपको रिफरल नहीं मिला आपके साइकियाट्रिस्ट से नेक्स्ट के लिए?
नहीं,
you can't get in touch with them, उनका फोन वन सब स्विच ऑफ एंड जस्ट
yeah,
गायब ही हो गया।
actually she just told, मतलब the thing was कि it was through a platform, तो मेरे पास कभी उनका पर्सनल कांटेक्ट नंबर था नहीं। and then once she stopped तो she stopped.
तो उस प्लेटफॉर्म के थ्रू आपको दूसरा नहीं मिल सकता?
एक्चुअली वो एक मिला था, तो उन्होंने मुझे सिर्फ सीसीटीवी, मेरे घर पे एक बाई और सीसीटीवी की इम्पोर्टेंट है, उस पे एक सेशन किया। तो आई डिड नॉट गो बैक। नाउ
तो अभी जब आपने इतनी हेल्प ली ही नहीं है साइकियाट्री से, तो इतनी आपको डिपेंडेंसी क्यों फील हो रही है? कि वो नहीं है तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
वो नहीं है तो there are days when I'm like completely down and I know, मतलब there is, मतलब I'm functional, I'm very much functional, but then there are days when I have no idea how to just get through the day. And मतलब क्या चीज, जैसे किसी से बात करनी है या फिर ऑफिस का स्ट्रेस हो जाता है या फिर कोई चीजें होती है, तो वो घर पे आके पूरा फ्रस्ट्रेट, मतलब घर पे आके मुझसे फिर जैसे वन सेट इट हैपेंड कि आई स्विच्ड ऑन माय गैस एंड आई कंप्लीटली फॉरगॉट कि वो मुझे अभी भी आई डोंट नो कि मैंने कब स्टार्ट किया है वो, बस मुझे सुबह भी वो गैस शुरू मिला था तो मुझे रियलाइज हुआ कि वो मुझसे छूट गया है. तो whenever I was speaking about everything that was happening on a very regular basis and I had my grounding techniques in place, तो I was much more functional and थोड़ा थोड़ा वो आगे बढ़ रहा था. But then I still have.
ये अगर
हम्म
अगर मैं ये पूछूं कि आर यू डू यू रियली मतलब ये मेरे को थोड़ा सोच के बताना कि do you really want a psychiatrist or a therapist, or you actually want a support to go through this?
Actually,
You're feeling alone in this.
no, the support में अभी touch wood I have support. I have few people who are there to support me, but it's just that no, मतलब whenever I used to speak to my therapist, so it was always like somewhere understanding self-compassion and everything, but with the support that I have, at one point the conversation goes to कि तू बहुत ज्यादा सोचती है या फिर तू बहुत ज्यादा डरती है. But whenever I speak to a therapist or somebody कि इस तरीके से होता है, मतलब जब मैं बिल्कुल कुछ भी नहीं कर पाती हूँ तो एक थेरेपिस्ट की तरफ से जो ग्राउंडिंग टेक्निक्स होते थे या फिर जो वो एट दैट प्रेजेंट बस इतना भी समझाते थे कि कैसे बचपन का जो कोरिलेशन है ना, वो थेरेपिस्ट बोलते हैं तो लगता है कि नहीं सच में हुआ होगा बचपन में. आसपास के सपोर्ट सिस्टम्स बोलते तो आई डोंट ट्रस्ट कि इट्स देयर. कितना गलत हुआ है.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I totally get what you're saying, Prerna. तो हम भी जब there are different kind of people and there are different kinds of abuses as well. But जब ये इतना elongated होता है and this has gone through like for years and you're saying, right? I mean, it's a very long period of time and very substantial years of your life. तो ये जो सारे cases होते हैं इसमें हम खुद भी यही बोलते हैं that the way to go through this whole process, तो इसमें a different level of dissolving healing is required, right? And I can totally understand why you would feel a need for just a therapist, somebody whom you could trust and you could just blurt everything out in front of them. Right. No, but I guess therapist का यही काम होता है and they help you look through and get over everything. So but what I'm feeling right now कि ये जो process है of dissolving ये हुआ तो है नहीं, and I guess you are also very well aware of that. Right. Plus another thing which has happened with me कि I have had clients who were diagnosed with, जैसे एक case था that guy was diagnosed with bipolar. And he had been taking bipolar medications from a long time, around 6-7 years. And we did work together, ऐसे coaching हुआ, ये सब हुआ. It went on for 6 months and we went on an exploratory journey. And 6 months later, that guy himself, it's not that something I cannot tell that to anybody. He himself came to a conclusion that he never had bipolar. And he stopped taking his medications and he was totally like, and he didn't tell anybody in his family. Right? And his life was completely functional. तो कई बार ऐसा होता है ना, the roots need to be cleansed, right? तो इस case में, like we were talking to just a moment. Yeah, like we were talking to someone before and we were talking about energy healing, we were talking about NLP,
Hmm.
or we were talking about, processing all of these things. तो ये चीज तो करनी पड़ेगी, and I am really not sure कि you can do all of these things, just DIY, looking at the state in which you are in.
Mhm.
So take help, take professional help, and continue it for some time, right?
But my major problem is right now
Hmm.
is कि I'm मतलब like how do I understand that this help is like won't like after मतलब कि I'll be heard there मतलब
Prerna, see, one thing I want to ask you. You
हम्म
said कि ये जो भी diagnosis हुई है ये online हुई है, right?
हम्म
You have not met these people, और ये कितने, how much ये experience थे ये लोग जिन्होंने diagnose किया?
अब मतलब मतलब अभी जो मतलब जितने भी थे सब रेफरेंस के थ्रू ही थे, तो आई फील दे वर एक्सपीरियंस. मुझे इतना आइडिया नहीं है, मैंने बस बैकग्राउंड रिसर्च किया था, तो दे हैड लाइक गुड हिस्ट्री और लाइक दे हैड गुड वर्क.
और उन्होंने क्या कुछ तुमको कोई असेसमेंट या कुछ ऐसा दिया था कुछ करने के लिए जिससे उन्होंने पता लगाया, या उन्होंने बात की और बात करने के बाद उन्होंने बताया कि
उन्होंने सिर्फ बात की. असेसमेंट के लिए मैं पूछती थी तो वो बोलते थे कि नहीं अभी फिलहाल नहीं करेंगे, बाद में करेंगे. और वो उसके बाद वो 1 मंथ खींचता था, एंड देन आई वाज लाइक नहीं मतलब थेरेपिस्ट ने तो कभी कोई असेसमेंट नहीं की, साइकियाट्रिस्ट ने भी नहीं, सिर्फ बात करने पे ही हुआ है.
और कितने सेशंस के बाद उन्होंने तुमको ये बताया कि तुमको बॉर्डर लाइन?
सेम सेशन, मतलब आज एक फर्स्ट सेशन था, आज एक प्रोग्नोसिस भेज देते थे और मेडिसिन भेज देते थे, एंड बोथ ऑफ माय ऑल 3 ऑफ माय साइकियाट्रिस्ट हैव डन दैट.
राइट. और ये सेशन कितने टाइम का होता था?
2 hours.
सी, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जितनी मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है अबाउट दिस कि एक तो बॉर्डरलाइन पर्सनालिटी डिसऑर्डर और बाइपोलर डिसऑर्डर में डिस्टिंग्विश करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. तो फर्स्ट थिंग इज दैट कि बहुत 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 बार ऐसा लगता है कि ये बाइपोलर हो सकता है या बॉर्डरलाइन हो सकता है. इन दोनों में डिस्टिंग्विश करना काफी डिफिकल्ट टास्क है. एंड सेकंड, इसको एस्टेब्लिश करना भी इतना आसान नहीं है. सो और राइट नाउ यू आर प्रेग्नेंट एनीवे, यू कांट टेक एनी मेडिकेशन. अगर तुमको मान लो बाइपोलर भी हो या बॉर्डर लाइन भी हो तो भी वो मेडिसिन तो स्टॉप करनी पड़ती है, राइट? तो राइट नाउ आई वुड प्रोबेबली से टू यू कि ये सब जो भी तुमको लेबल्स और जो भी डायग्नोसिस किए गए हैं ना, ये भूल जाओ, बिकॉज मुझे नहीं लग रहा है कि तुमको सही डायग्नोस किया है, राइट? तो तुम या तो स्क्रैच से स्टार्ट करो और किसी साइकियाट्रिस्ट से पर्सनली मिलो. अगर तुमको लेवल ही पिक करना है कि मेरे को क्या है, तो प्रॉपरली इन पर्सन मिलो किसी अच्छे साइकियाट्रिस्ट से. ये ऑनलाइन के चक्कर में मत पड़ो. और ये क्योंकि ये डायग्नोसिस इतनी आसानी से नहीं होती है. वो एक्सपीरियंस्ड साइकियाट्रिस्ट भी गलती कर देते कई बार. वो भी नहीं ठीक से पता लगा पाते कि ये बॉर्डर लाइन था या बाइपोलर था. बॉर्डर लाइन और बाइपोलर बहुत सिमिलर दिखते हैं. और तुम जो बता रही हो ये जो डिस्क्राइब कर रही हो दीज फेजेस, फेजेस में होता है, दिस इज वेरी सिमिलर टू बाइपोलर. वो भी फेजेस में होता है. फेजेस ऑफ एक्सट्रीम manic depression and then phases of extreme hyperactivity. And this cycle continues like that. तो अभी के लिए तो मैं यही बोलूंगा कि ये जितने भी तुमको लेबल दिए गए हैं ना, इनको तुम छोड़ दो, क्योंकि वैसे भी तुम दवाई तो ले नहीं सकती हो. चाहे ये अगर मान लो कि डायग्नोसिस करेक्ट भी हो, तभी भी तुम दवाई तो भी ले नहीं सकती हो for another 4-5 months. And if you will be breastfeeding, then you will not be able to take it until you are breastfeeding also. So it's not just pregnancy, it's also breastfeeding के time पे तुम नहीं ले सकती है दवाइयाँ, ठीक है। ये मैं इतने कॉन्फिडेंस से इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ बिकॉज माई वाइफ हैव बीन सेपरेटेड फ्रॉम हर, शी इज बाइपोलर, 20 years से शी इज बाइपोलर, तो आई नो कि व्हाट इज दिस एंड हाउ दिस वर्क्स एंड ऑल दैट। तो ये तुम अभी के लिए इन लेबल्स को ड्रॉप कर दो और किसी साइकाइट्रिस्ट से मिलकर डायग्नोज कराओ किसी एक्सपीरियंस से, ये ऑनलाइन में मत पढ़ो। क्योंकि तुम्हें तो ये भी मालूम है उनका तुम्हें कोई नंबर भी नहीं मिल रहा है। मेंटल हेल्थ से ऐसे मत खेलो कि एक से बात कर ली वो तो गायब हो गया, अब तुम्हें कंटिन्यूएशन में दूसरा भी नहीं मिल रहा है। एटलीस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म की इतनी जिम्मेदारी तो होनी थी कि तुम्हें कंटिन्यूएशन देते। जी, अगर एक साइकाइट्रिस्ट चला गया है, एक थेरेपिस्ट चला गया है, तो यू शुड हैव बीन गिवन कंटिन्यूएशन। So don't play with your life like this by enrolling in these kind of systems. और कोई भी ढंग का साइकाइट्रिस्ट होगा ना, वो कभी इस तरह का नहीं करेगा। अगर उसको अपनी प्रैक्टिस बंद भी करनी है, उसको जा भी रहा है, they will always make sure कि they will give you reference and they will tell you कि go and start meeting. They will forward all your case history to the next person and they will take forward from there. ये तो टोटल अनप्रोफेशनल बिहेवियर है। व्हाट हैज हैपेंड विद यू, ऐसे नहीं होता है।
I'm so scared now because I just don't want my child to like have all this because I know.
मैं तुमको एक चीज ये बता देता हूँ, सिंपल सी चीज है, इसमें कोई इतना ज्यादा नहीं है। मैं बहुत ही आई जस्ट लाइक टू टॉक स्ट्रेट। मुझे बीटिंग अराउंड द बुश नहीं समझ में आता इतना। काफी सारे मेंटल डिसऑर्डर्स होते हैं जो हेरिडिटरी होते हैं। बाइपोलर हो गया, ऐसे बाइपोलर हेरिडिटरी। कई बार वो जनरेशन स्किप कर देते, तो इट्स पॉसिबल कि तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स में नहीं दिखता हो तो तुम्हारे ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स में हो रहेगा किसी को। तो ये है, हेरिडिटरी है। इसका तुम कुछ नहीं कर सकते। तुम कितना भी ये अब कर लो कि आई डोंट वांट माय किड टू हैव दिस एंड आई डू, यू कैन नॉट डू एनीथिंग। If it is hereditary, it is going to be. So rather than feeling scared, prepare yourself. अपनी एनर्जी ना प्रेपरेशन में लगाओ, स्केरिंग में मत लगाओ। राइट, बिकम मोर मेंटली स्ट्रांग फॉर योर किड।
मेरे तो ये स्ट्रेंथ भी फेजेस में आता है।
हाँ, वो आएगा ही, ठीक है, बट ठीक है, अभी फेजेस में आ रहा है क्योंकि तुम्हारा फोकस इसी चीज पे है कि मैं नहीं चाहती ये वो, मैं नहीं चाहती ये। चाहता तो कोई भी नहीं है। जो जो रियलिटी है वो रियलिटी है।
But then I stay in Nagpur. यहाँ पे मुझे कोई अच्छा साइकियाट्रिस्ट नहीं मिल रहा because I've searched here. And then I'll have to like travel somewhere and see a psychiatrist because Nagpur में there are not many people who मतलब that I know of.
नागपुर भी तो एक अच्छी सिटी है ही। आई एम श्योर कि कोई ना कोई तो तुम सर्च करोगी तो मिल जाएगा। नागपुर इज नॉट कोई छोटा मोटा गांव थोड़ी है। वेल नोन सिटी एंड इट्स क्वाइट गुड सिटी, तो होना ही चाहिए, होगा ही कोई ना कोई। नहीं है तो फिर मैं यही बोलूंगा कि अभी छोड़ दो। अभी इसमें क्यों पढ़ रही हो? आई एम जस्ट सेइंग टू यू, अभी तुम डायग्नोस करके क्या कर लोगी, क्योंकि तुम मेडिसिन तो ले नहीं सकती हो, राइट? आई हैव बीन सेइंग दिस। तुम ये टाइम इसमें लगाओगी भी तो उसका एंड रिजल्ट क्या है? मान लो कि किसी ने तुमको बोल भी दिया कि ये है, सो देन व्हाट? मेडिसिन तो तुम ले नहीं सकती हो, तो क्यों अपनी एनर्जी वेस्ट कर रही हो? व्हाई यू डोंट पुट दैट एनर्जी इन प्रेगनेंसी राइट नाउ?
because every day like एक वो मतलब अभी भी अभी प्रेगनेंसी में भी मतलब पता नहीं वो एक डर ही बैठ गया है कि अगर पता हो तो एटलीस्ट मैं कुछ कर सकती हूँ, अभी पता ही नहीं है तो मैंने कुछ गलती कर देना है या फिर
तो अब तो वैसे भी 5 months हो गए हैं, तो यू कैन नॉट टर्मिनेट इट एनीवे, राइट?
आई डोंट वांट टू टर्मिनेट
तो
मतलब
इसीलिए मैं, हाँ, तो आई एम सेइंग कि अगर ये हेरिडिटरी है एंड इफ योर किड इज गोइंग टू इनहेरिट इट, तुम्हारे डरने से होने वाला क्या है? You pass that, you cross that line already. You cross that line already. तो अब तुम्हारे पास में सिर्फ स्ट्रॉन्ग बन के गो थ्रू दिस के अलावा कोई ऑप्शन नहीं बचता। और ये भी कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि उसको हो। एज आई सेड, sometimes these things skip generations also. ये हो सकता है कि तुम्हें हो और उसको ना हो, ये भी पॉसिबल हो सकता है। और ये पॉसिबल हो सकता है कि शायद तुम्हें भी ना हो, राइट? तो अगर तुम्हें नहीं होगा तो उसको भी नहीं होगा। और ये भी हो सकता है कि तुम्हें ना हो लेकिन उसको हो, क्योंकि तुम्हारे ऊपर की किसी जनरेशन में हो। ये सारे कॉम्बिनेशंस में तुम कर क्या सकती हो अल्टीमेटली? तुम मुझे ये बताओ, तुम्हारे हाथ में क्या है? ये सारे कॉम्बिनेशंस के ऊपर हम डिस्कशन कर सकते हैं कि ये हो सकता है, वो हो सकता है, ऐसा है, वैसा है, बट नन ऑफ दिस इज इन योर कंट्रोल।
But what if like if it मतलब these मतलब अभी तक I had nothing but to lose मतलब what if my behavior or anything that I do in these things like goes very wrong?
What behavior will go wrong?
जैसे मैं भूल जाती हूँ, मतलब said that sometimes I forget things. तो मतलब the scared part is not leaving me at all.
क्योंकि तुम इसमें इतनी एनर्जी डाल। मैं तुमसे यही क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ, तुम मेरे को अगर इसका आंसर पहले ये बताओ कि यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना कौन सी है?
Pardon?
हम एक्चुअली में क्या डिस्कस?
Actually, I couldn't hear you.
I'm saying कि तुम इस पूरी सिचुएशन को इस तरह से बता सकती हो कि इसमें एक्चुअली में प्रॉब्लम कहाँ पे है, एक्चुअली में हम क्या डिस्कस कर रहे हैं।
एक्चुअली मतलब मुझे जो मेन प्रॉब्लम अभी आ रही है वो बिकॉज एक वो ब्रेक हो गया ना, आई कैन नॉट गो बैक ऑल्सो नाउ। तो वो एक मेंटल ब्लॉक हो गया है जिसने फियर ने जिस चीज को एकदम भर के रखा। आई जस्ट नीड हेल्प के आई जस्ट गो पास दैट फियर नाउ कि वो डर किस तरीके से मैं थोड़ा सा साइड में रखूं, बिकॉज दैट हैज लाइक
किस चीज का डर? वो डर क्या है, वो तो डिफाइन करो। क्या डर?
कुछ
किस
गलत
चीज
कर
से डर?
देने का।
क्या गलत कर देने का? कैन यू डिफाइन इट? कैन यू टेल मी कि फियर क्या गलत? कैन यू जस्ट इलैबोरेट ऑन इट?
like a lot of people who tell me, are you talking to your kid? Yeah, are you being very emotional? My entire focus is just work कि किसी तरीके से मैं because work is very important। अभी मेरी maternity start होने की है। Are you speaking to the kid? Are you just watching happy things? I cannot always watch happy things. I am unable to speak to the child. I'm unable to have that emotional bond.
And who are these people who are telling you this?
Everybody around me.
मतलब do they have kids?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Something I feel ki I'm only doing something wrong ki because I want this kid. Cross my heart, I love this child. It's just that I just I'm unable to do what everybody is telling me to.
Hmm. So मैं तुमसे एक क्वेश्चन पहले ये पूछा था कि आर यू रियली अपसेट कि तुम्हारे पास सपोर्ट नहीं है, या तुम इस बात से घबरा रही थी क्योंकि तुमने बात शुरू की थी अपने डिसऑर्डर को लेकर।
Hmm.
लेकिन अभी जो हम घूम फिर के इस पे आ रहे हैं, यहाँ पे डिसऑर्डर साइड में हो गया। अभी तुम्हें दिक्कत इस बात की है कि यू हैव टू मच ऑन योर प्लेट राइट नाउ, यू आर ट्राइंग टू हैंडल इट अलोन। तो एग्जैक्टली क्या हम प्रॉब्लम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं? कैन यू डिफाइन दैट? इज इट अबाउट सपोर्ट और इज इट अबाउट योर डिसऑर्डर?
Somewhere I मतलब अभी अब वो मुझे भी एक्चुअली बहुत बहुत मुश्किल से समझ में आता भी एट दिस पॉइंट। आई हैव नो आइडिया बिकॉज आई एम टेलिंग दिस इज द फेज एंड देन टुमारो और डे आफ्टर टुमारो आई विल हैव दैट हाई फेज एंड देन nothing will matter, then I'll come back to this phase, then I'll go back to that happy phase, then I'll come back to this phase. So I am myself very
Do you
confused.
do you have do you have support around you from your family or not?
Family nahi, but yeah, few people, yes.
So you are currently living by yourself,
Yeah, I'm living by myself.
and your family doesn't want to support you in this,
I don't want their support.
but they want to support or they
Yeah,
don't want to support.
they want to. My mom wants to.
Okay. So why are you not allowing her to support? इतना गुस्सा किस बात का?
गुस्सा नहीं है, बट मुझे पता नहीं, वो लगता है कि एक बार मुझे उन पर डिपेंडेंसी आ गई, फिर वो चले जाएंगे, उनका कुछ फ्लिप हो जाएगा, देन आई विल बी अलोन। फिर अभी है कि
तो
अभी
डिपेंडेंसी तुम थेरेपिस्ट पे तो ढूंढ रही हो, थेरेपिस्ट पे डिपेंडेंसी ढूंढ रही हो, और तुम्हारी माँ है जो तुमको सपोर्ट करना चाह रही है, उसमें तो जो आ रहा है, जो करना चाह रहा है, उसको तुम ले नहीं रही हो, और जो नहीं मिल रहा है उसके पीछे जा रही है।
क्योंकि उन्होंने प्रूव किया है इसके पहले भी कि वो डिपेंडेबल नहीं है।
अभी के लिए तो आ ही रही है ना, तुम्हारी प्रेगनेंसी तो और 4 महीने की बात है।
देन मुझे उनसे इमोशनल बॉन्ड हो जाएगा, देन शी लीव, देन मुझे वापस जीरो से मतलब आई एम वेरी स्केयर्ड टू ट्रस्ट माय मॉम ऑन एनी फ्रंट।
तो ये इमोशनल बॉन्ड तो तुम्हारा थेरेपिस्ट के साथ भी हो सकता है।
विच चीज में मतलब मतलब वहां पे हम पेइंग, सो समवेयर आई नो वेयर टू, मतलब एक वो ब्लॉक आ जाता है मॉम के साथ। आई नो
नहीं,
मुझे वो थोड़ा
ब्लॉक
सा
आ
भी
जाता है, वो तो फाइनेंशियल कंस्ट्रेंट है कि तुम पे नहीं कर पाओगी, लेकिन लैक तो फील करोगी ना, इमोशनल बॉन्ड तो हो ही जाएगा। वो तुम फीस पे नहीं कर पा रही हो इसलिए वो तुम्हारी हेल्प नहीं कर रही है, लेकिन वो नहीं सेशन होगा या उससे बात होगी तो फील तो होगा ही ना तुमको। वो तो अभी भी हो ही रहा है ना, इसलिए तो बात कर रही है।
पर वहां पे बुरा लगने के कम चांसेस है। मॉम के साथ अगर वापस ऐसा होगा, आई डोंट थिंक आई विल बी एबल टू टेक इट। लाइक मॉम एंड फैमिली बहुत पहले ही नो हो गए थे, मेरे दिमाग में ही हो गए थे, तो आई नेवर गॉन बैक।
So you have friends who are currently supporting you.
Yeah, somewhat.
हाँ, तो they are the ones who are telling you कि ये नहीं कर रही हो, वो नहीं कर रही हो।
नहीं, दे लाइक ट्राई कर ले, ये कर ले, वो कर ले, मतलब एवरीबॉडी इज लाइक गिव सेंडिंग टन्स ऑफ थिंग्स, बट तो नहीं होता है। मतलब somewhere support is there, मतलब हॉस्पिटल जाने के लिए एंड एवरीथिंग दैट इज देयर, they understand where I come from, they understand these phases, but उससे ज़्यादा ठीक है, that's somewhere
तो
else.
प्रेरणा, अब इस चीज को देखो कि when you got pregnant, you decided to keep this baby,
हम्म
है ना? तो
हम्म
now you have to own this decision.
हम्म हम्म
तो अब तुमको ये ओन भी करना पड़ेगा ना, तो वो
या
कब करोगी?
वही कोशिश कर रही हूँ मैं, बट
हाँ,
वो ओन भी कैसे सही तरीके से करना मुझे आइडिया ही नहीं है.
सही तरीके से, सही तरीका तो कुछ होता ही नहीं है पेरेंटिंग में ना. इट्स मोर अबाउट यू डू व्हाट यू कैन डू. ये तो कोई ऐसा है ही नहीं, कोई सही या परफेक्ट की तो कोई डेफिनेशन ही नहीं है पेरेंटिंग में. इट इज मोर अबाउट कि यू यू मेक इट अ प्रायोरिटी, एंड दैट्स बेसिकली इट. अब वो प्रायोरिटी में और भी चीजें होती हैं करने की. तो यू हैव टू जगल दीज प्रायोरिटीज, एंड यू हैव टू. ये तो सारे, इवन इफ यू आर नॉट सिंगल पेरेंट, अगर तुम्हारे हस्बैंड भी होते साथ में और अगर तुम्हारी फैमिली भी होती तो भी कुछ ना कुछ तो लगा ही रहता. तो ये तो ओनरशिप की बात है कि ये डिसीजन ले लिया है तो अब ले लिया है. अब जो भी बेस्ट हो सकता है वही कर सकते, और जो नहीं हो रहा है उसके बारे में इतना सोचने का नहीं है.
बट ये फेजेस कुछ टाइम के लिए रुक नहीं सकते क्या, कि मैं बस निकाल लूं ये 4-5 महीना, मतलब शायद.
ये फेजेस रुक सी, इन फेजेस की तो तुम्हें इतने साल से आदत पड़ चुकी है. तो
बट अभी एक ऐसी चीज होने वाली है ना जो मुझे एकदम चाहिए, मतलब इतने साल से इट वाज लाइक ठीक है, होगा होगा नहीं होगा ठीक है, कोई तकलीफ नहीं, नुकसान का कोई तकलीफ नहीं है. अब जो चाहिए होने वाला है वो मुझे इतना ज्यादा चाहिए.
हाँ, तो ये फेजेस तो जब व्हेन द बेबी इज बॉर्न, तो उसके बाद भी ये फेजेस तो तुम्हारे चलते रहेंगे. तो व्हेन विल यू एक्सेप्ट कि दिस इज हु यू आर, दिस इज हाउ इट इज, एंड यू हैव टू क्रिएट लाइफ अराउंड इट.
I know that acceptance is very difficult.
तुमने अगर उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लिया होता तो तुम ये क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछती कि ये स्टॉप नहीं हो सकता.
एक्सेप्टेंस होता ही नहीं है, बिकॉज कभी कभी इतना फ्रस्ट्रेट मैं खुद से ही हो जाती हूँ कि इट्स लाइक एक्सेप्टेंस पूरा सब गोज डाउन द हिल.
हाँ, तो उस पर फोकस करने की जरूरत है कि fully accepting who you are with everything that you have and don't have. क्योंकि जब तक तुम खुद, जो लोग भी तुमको एडवाइस कर रहे हैं वो लोग बहुत अच्छी इंटेंशन से कर रहे होंगे. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि उनकी इंटेंशन अच्छी नहीं होगी, बट दे आर नॉट यू. दे आर नॉट लिविंग योर लाइफ. दे आर नॉट लिविंग योर स्ट्रगल. राइट? तो दूसरों की बातें सुन लो, वो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लेकिन तुम अपने आप को ज्यादा अच्छी तरह जानती हो. तो प्रेशर अपने ऊपर कितना क्रिएट करना है, कितना नहीं क्रिएट करना है, ये तो तुम्हें ही डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा ना. क्योंकि जो लोग भी तुमको बता रहे हैं वो लोग तुम्हारी शूज में नहीं है. they don't go through these phases. They don't understand what these phases are. They are just going by the books. तो अब उसमें से कितना लेना है, कितना छोड़ना है, ये तो तुम ही डिसाइड करोगी.
बट लेना और छोड़ना भी इट गोज लाइक, मुझे तो उसमें भी नहीं समझ में आता है क्या लो और क्या नहीं लो. मतलब पता नहीं कहीं
हाँ,
ना
तो
कहीं
वो
लगता
तो
है
तुम
कि
अपनी बैंडविड्थ के ऊपर ही देखोगी ना कि हाउ मच बैंडविड्थ एंड एनर्जी यू हैव।
हम्म।
क्योंकि at the end of the day you are going to be a single mother. You also have to take care of your work.
हम्म।
You have to also take care of your survival.
हम्म।
So your baby can be number one priority for you, but it cannot be the only priority for you.
हम्म।
बाकी सब लोग जो तुमको एडवाइस कर रहे हैं, they may not be having these kind of struggles. उनको उनको फिक्र करने की जरूरत नहीं है कि पैसा कहाँ से आएगा, कल को रेंट कहाँ से पे होगा।
हम्म।
तुमको है।
हम्म।
हाँ, तो कितना लेना है कितना छोड़ना है वो तो तुम ही देखना पड़ेगा ना।
But how do I
और तुम्हें
understand? हम्म।
हाँ, जस्टिफाई करना छोड़ दो दूसरों को। दैट्स द फर्स्ट थिंग।
हम्म। But that becomes so मतलब isolating also. I'll try to do that.
हाँ, try to do that, try to not justify and try not to, मतलब आई एम सेइंग कि दूसरों को सुन लो और अगर वो नहीं हो पा रहा है तो तुम्हें कुछ जस्टिफाई क्या बुरा करना का नहीं है कि ऐसा होता है, ये नहीं हुआ तो वो नहीं हुआ। लाइक बच्चों के लिए तो सभी पेरेंट्स अच्छा ही करने की कोशिश करते हैं, बट हर कोई तो हर कुछ नहीं कर पाता है।
हम्म।
Even when both parents are there, still so many families are there जिसमें both parents are present and all that, बच्चे फिर भी बिगड़ते हैं, बच्चे फिर भी सही ट्रैक पे नहीं जाते हैं।
हम्म।
तो you can only do the best that you can do.
हम्म।
ये परफेक्शनिज्म वाला अप्रोच हटा के चलोगी तभी कुछ आगे बात बढ़ पाएगी।
हम्म।
Because there is no such thing as perfect parents. You have your own example of your own parents as well.
हम्म।
You have both your mom and dad alive.
Yeah. Separated but alive.
हाँ, तो फिर तो you are there as well. तो अभी वो तो दोनों separated हैं, alive भी हैं and all that, but still families come in different shape and form.
हम्म।
So everyone can do the best. Your mom is also trying to do the best, but now you are not taking her help.
हम्म।
For whatever reason, जो भी तुम्हारे रीजन रहेंगे कि मुझे फिर से ट्रॉमेटाइज नहीं होना है, मेरे को फिर से इनकम जो भी है, बट वो भी तो she may be struggling to help you and feeling helpless as well in this situation कि तुम नहीं ले रही हो उसकी हेल्प।
Yeah.
तो फिर परफेक्ट पेरेंटिंग तो कुछ नहीं होता है ना।
हम्म।
उनको भी तो लोग एडवाइस दे रहे होंगे ना कि उसकी ऐसी हालत में उसको, या उनको भी तो ऐसे आता होगा, बट अब वो क्या करें। इफ यू आर नॉट टेकिंग हर हेल्प, तो व्हाट कैन शी डू। शी कैन ओनली बी फीलिंग बैड अबाउट इट, और शी विल बी फीलिंग वेरी, जो भी है अंदर से उनको काफी लग रहा होगा, लेकिन व्हाट कैन शी डू।
हम्म। Yeah, as such we never had a relationship.
ठीक है, यू मे नॉट हैड अ रिलेशनशिप एंड ऑल दैट, वो ठीक है, वो मैं समझ गया हूँ। But I'm saying, but she still is offering help, which you are denying.
Hmm.
So, so I'm just only trying to tell you कि
Hmm.
there is no such thing as perfect parenting. कुछ ना कुछ तो छूट ही जाता है, कुछ ना कुछ हो जाता है. हम जो बेस्ट अपनी तरफ से कर सकते हैं वही कर सकते हैं ना. There are things outside our control and influence.
Hmm.
Like she's also trying to do her best, but now you're not taking her help, so it's outside her control and influence also. So वो जबरदस्ती तो नहीं कर सकती तुम्हारे साथ.
Hmm.
तो अकॉर्डिंग टू, अगर उनके नजरिए से देखो तो वो भी तो अपनी तरफ से बेस्ट ही करने की कोशिश कर रही है ना, इन वट एवर सिचुएशन इट इज.
Hmm.
और तुम भी कर रही हो. तो कुछ ना कुछ छूट जाता है, कुछ ना कुछ हो जाता है. जो हो रहा है उस पर फोकस करो, जो छूट रहा है उसको छोड़ो.
Hmm. Yeah. बट जो छूट रहा है वो देखना पड़ेगा. क्योंकि कुछ कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट चीजें अगर छूट गई तो वो रिवर्सेबल नहीं हो पाएंगी ना.
हाँ, तो मैं अगर अगर यही बात मैं तुमको तुम्हारी मम के एंगल से बोलूं तो उनको भी तो यही डर लगता होगा ना.
नहीं, उनका डर जायज है, उनकी हेल्प जायज है, बस मुझे भरोसा नहीं है. तो फिर लाइक वो मैं और
नहीं,
घंटे में
वो
गिर के
छोड़ दो.
बाहर आना.
हाँ, मैं उसकी बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. आई एम जस्ट सेइंग कि हम सब लोग अपनी लाइफ में ऐसे ही जीते हैं जहाँ पे हम अपनी तरफ से बेस्ट करना चाहते हैं, बट कई बार नहीं कर सकते. और जो भी डर है हमको फिर उनको छोड़ देना पड़ता है, क्योंकि वहां पे हम कुछ कर नहीं सकते. राइट. तो अब तुम्हारी मम के पास दो ऑप्शंस हैं. उन्होंने तुमको हेल्प के लिए बोला, तुमने मना कर दिया. हम्म, अब उनके पास दो ऑप्शंस हैं कि शी बिकम्स ओके विद दिस, कि ठीक है, और शी कैन गो इन स्ट्रेस एंड एंजाइटी हरसेल्फ. उनका खुद का बीपी अप डाउन रहे, ये सोच सोच के कि तुम्हारा क्या चल रहा होगा, तुम्हारा क्या हो रहा होगा, तुम्हारे को कुछ उल्टा सीधा हो गया तो इट विल बी इरिवर्सिबल एंड शी विल फील गिल्टी अबाउट इट एंड ऑल दैट. है ना. हाँ. तो तो अब पर वो कर तो कुछ नहीं सकती है क्योंकि तुमने ब्लॉक कर दिया है.
जी.
तो अब इंसान के पास दो ही ऑप्शन बचते हैं कि या तो मैं डर में जीता रहूं या मैं उस चीज को एक्सेप्ट कर लूं. तुम्हारे पास भी ऐसे ही दो ऑप्शंस हैं कि जो अपनी तरफ से बेस्ट कर रहे हो वो कर रहे हो, और जो छूट रहा है अब उसको या तो एंजाइटी के फॉर्म में पकड़ लो और एंजाइटी बढ़ाते रहो अपनी, या एक्सेप्ट कर लो कि मैं इतना ही कर सकती हूँ. क्योंकि अंदर जो भी तुम इमोशन क्रिएट करोगी उसका इम्पैक्ट तो सीधा बच्चे पे होगा ही. तो तुम एक तरफ तो इस चीज पे स्ट्रेस कर रही हो कि मैंने उसको उसके साथ हैप्पी टॉक नहीं की. हैप्पी टॉक नहीं की, इसकी एंजाइटी क्रिएट कर रही हो. वो टॉक नहीं की, वो तो एक बात हो गई, लेकिन ये एंजाइटी क्रिएट करके जो उसके ऊपर और ज्यादा इफेक्ट डाल रही हो वो दिख ही नहीं रहा है तुमको.
या करेक्ट.
जो छूट गया वो तो छूट गया, लेकिन जो छूट गया उसके डर से जो तुम्हारे अंदर हो रहा है और उसका जो इम्पैक्ट आ रहा है बच्चे के ऊपर, वो दिख रहा है तुमको.
नहीं.
हाँ, तो वो कब दिखेगा फिर.
एक्चुअली. तो वो लाइक ये एक्सेप्टेंस को और बढ़ाने के लिए या कुछ करने के लिए मैं कुछ और कर सकती हूँ जिससे I'll keep reminding myself this.
The best thing that you can do is to be in a state of happiness and calmness and be happy कि you have decided to become a mother and now you are becoming a mother. एंड एंजॉय दिस। और जो छूट रहा है उसके लिए जो भी डर और एंजाइटी क्रिएट कर रही हो, तो ये समझ के चलो कि जो छूट रहा है वो तो एक बात है, लेकिन उसका जो डर है जो तुम क्रिएट कर रही हो अपने अंदर और एंजाइटी क्रिएट कर रही हो, वो डायरेक्ट इम्पैक्ट कर रहा है बच्चे को।
Yeah. So I'll keep reminding myself this then.
So own this decision of becoming a mother and understand that that's what you've decided to become a mother, and now you look forward to becoming a mother.
Yeah. I'll try to do that. पता नहीं अब मैं कितना कर पाऊंगी.
चलो आज यहीं पे रैप अप करते हैं. It's been 2 hours. More than 2 hours now.
Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. Thanks, Prerna.
Thank you.
All right. Anamika, anything you want to say?
No, you have pretty much covered all of it, but I would say to Prerna that already life में complications हैं, right? But what you can do now is वो complication है and you're worrying about कि complication है, but rather shift your focus to simplifying your life, right? And one thing you can do is, learn to prioritize things. कि अभी आपके लिए क्या priority है, right? What you're capable to do, what you're not capable to do. उसके बाद दुनिया जो बोल रही है ठीक है, वो उनके बारे में है. But keep simplifying your life कि हाँ मेरी life में ये चीजें important हैं, and I'll keep my focus onto this, right? Plus जब हम diagnosis वाली बात कर रहे थे तो I would say कि अभी तो we discussed कि अभी वो possible है नहीं. So rather than that, focus on your healing, right? So rather than going it the medical way, go it in a more simple lifestyle, day to day. Just start, ये छोटी चीजें हो सकती हैं, that you take a diary and you see कि हाँ आज मेरी priority ये है, rather than overthinking these are the 5 things and these are the only 5 things I'm going to do throughout the day. So I'm not going to, so ये जो plate में इतना रायता है, you first let go of the raita which is not important to you and choose कि इसमें से what is important for you and what is not important for you. Right? Because abhi situation is, I want to say a lot of things to you, but your situation is very different. Right? Because अगर यही हम 5 महीने पहले बात कर रहे होते तो शायद I would have said something very different to you. But right now it's not just you. You have one more person living in you. Right? So we have to take both of you together. And you also have to take ownership and responsibility for that. तो अपने आप को इतना ज़्यादा burden करने की जगह you actually see कि what is important. So one thing you can read about कि in emotional intelligence there are 5 spaces: self-awareness, empathy, social skills, motivation, and self-regulation. So what all of these pillars में छोटे-छोटे एक-एक points उठा के कि I'll see कि how I can empathize with myself. So more than focusing on developing empathy for other people, first develop empathy for yourself. कि अपने आप को ये जो इतना बड़ा baggage दे रखा है, उसको थोड़ा कम कर दो. Right? So have that empathy for yourself. कि मतलब allow yourself to be free, allow yourself to be okay. ठीक है. फिर self awareness में ये आता है कि जैसे कि मान भी लेते हैं कि ADHD और या borderline personality disorder, इनमें से कुछ चीजें मे बी एट अ वेरी माइल्ड फॉर्म है भी. सो द गुड सेल्फ अवेयरनेस इज कि अभी है. सो लाइक यू सेड कि I'll keep reminding myself this. तो rather than just doing it verbally and mentally, you take your diary and you start journaling. ज़्यादा नहीं करना है. Write just 5 lines that can help you remind and reinforce this thought in you. Right? Ki I don't have to do all this with me. I can empathize with myself and I can be with myself. तो ये छोटी छोटी चीजें start bringing small lifestyle changes. Right? So that's that. Asima, you want to say something?
Yeah. On the lighter note also, and maybe just a suggestion, because I was hearing her conversation and I think she mentioned about an incident where she left the gas open, right? So she's like very scared that she forgets how she's in a pressure that how I'm going to do if I have this medical condition, then how I'm going to, be okay around with my kid. What if I will forget something major and, my child will suffer. So rather than that, what mentors are suggesting you, and on the lighter note, I would say कि मेरी मेड को तो एड ये नहीं है जो आप बोल रहे हो सब कुछ, वो गैस खुली छोड़ गई. Or, I was working on the computer. So when I went to my kitchen, I saw gas is open. So, yeah, incidents can happen to anybody. And as far as bringing your focus to the present will help you a lot, whatever may be condition you are. And forgetting things is pretty natural with people who sometimes go through a lot of pressure. So, I'll just like to share an example for myself. I put a lot of post-its. Um, that's because it's not that I forget, it's just like a recheck because I don't have anybody else. I'm a single parent too. So I put the post-its before leaving the home that I have to check the gas burner, I have to check all the light switches. So I just thought to share it with you that even if you are in a state of forgetting things, there is a possibility you can put things on post-its on different places to keep a reminder for yourself. And rather than being very focused on what has happened, like a karma and Anamika is suggesting, you please actually start focusing on what you have.
Yeah. And actually, Prerna, we were discussing it last month only, me and Akarma. I also suffer from ADHD, right? So, and you won't believe, trust me, a lot of women, statistically speaking, a lot of women go through undiagnosed ADHD due to many reasons. So, abhi we don't have time to discuss the reasons. And the thing is that I won't say कि ये एकदम से ऐसे cure हो जाएगा, because mine hasn't got cured. But what when I became self-aware and I realized कि अच्छा this is what is happening with me and this has been my pattern. So just taking small steps कि अब उसको manage कैसे करना है. वो cure जब होगा पूरे तरीके से, because creating different habits, completely changing the wiring and everything, वो सब 1 महीने 2 महीने का काम नहीं है. It takes years of time. It has taken me a lot of time. और अभी भी चल ही रहा है. ऐसा नहीं है कि अभी नहीं चल रहा है. Right? So me and Akarma discussed it at length. And I have personally seen practically in front of my eyes so many women like having all of the symptoms of either of these things. Mostly not hyperactivity side, but the inattentive side. But this is something that happens, and ये तो है अभी. There's no point fighting the facts, right? और ये जाते जाते जाएगा, चला जाएगा. I can say it's something which can be handled over a period of time. But इसके लिए the thing which you can do right now is focus on self-regulating yourself. And this is very beautiful. Seema mentioned bringing yourself back to the present moment. So your pattern has been very different. So हो सकता है for a very long time you're not able to do that, but take out just 5 minutes, right? 10 minutes. ज़्यादा नहीं करना है. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But create a practice for yourself. Create a routine for yourself. So, yeah. So these are, small things that you can start changing in your lifestyle.
Just one doubt. So the routine, मतलब same तो 30 days नहीं रहे तो मतलब phase wise routine बनाओ. मतलब if I am in that high productive zone, so I'll have one routine and then another routine, या फिर I'll have to carry the same routine when I'm not
नहीं,
able
that is why I said कि routine पूरे दिन का मत बनाओ, right? But कुछ चीजें जैसे कि defining your task list, defining your priority list,
Okay.
ये सब चीजें regardless of the phase you do. And ये reminder में सबसे पहला point ये होना चाहिए, that awareness that right now I'm in this phase, I'm aware of it, and I'll not get carried away by it. I'm just aware of it. That you have to remind yourself. And जब low phase होगा, that time also you have to remind yourself कि this is, I'm going through a low phase. So for some time I'll practice not to get carried away by it. वो है, उसको हम disregard नहीं कर रहे हैं, वो है तो है. But just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, right? Morning में 5 minute निकालिए, रात को निकालिए, ठीक है? 5 minute के लिए you just, practice maybe with music, maybe with any art form, anything which can bring you back to the present moment. So I am not sure right now if you can practice meditation. If you can do that, that would be great. Okay. So ये चीजें करनी है. So regardless of the phase, the routine thing is something which you just tell yourself कि अगर बहुत ही happy ecstasy वाला phase भी आता है, then also you have to keep pushing yourself कि remember ये है, this is there, and low phase maybe this is there.
This is there. Okay.
Yeah, right. And if you can get support of a friend, तो उनसे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं बोलना है. You just tell them कि can I just text you कि मतलब can you just be my accountability partner?
Okay.
Right? So find a friend who can support you at least for some time as your accountability partner. So that क्योंकि low phases में कई बार ऐसा होगा that ऐसा मन नहीं करता करने का, बाहर में जाए, मेरे को नहीं करना टाइप का.
Yeah.
So उस point of time पे your friend can remind you कि where is this thing, did you write it down, can you share it with me? That's it. Right?
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks. Thank you, Prerna. Thank you, Divya. Thanks, Lata. And thanks to all of you who stayed on the call for this long. It's been 2.5 hours almost now.
I think we should be more thankful.
Thank you, Anamika. Thank you, Karma, for listening patiently to all our queries and answering it. Thank you.
And before we go, just a suggestion. These calls will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. I encourage each one of you to go and listen to them one more time, because I assure you that you will definitely learn something new if you listen this call second time. Thank you.
Thank you, Karma. Thank you, Namika. Thank you, Kumar. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Seema.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Good night, guys. Bye-bye.
Good night and thank you so much.
Thank you.